Hello there. If everything went well, and I have tested the sound quality, you should now be able to hear me through my new microphone. Hopefully now, finally, that static that was in the background is now going to be gone and replaced for sweet silence. Because I found it very annoying to listen to my own voice being like in the background. It's just bit tiresome, let's just put it like that. That old microphone has served me well, but it's time to retire. So, for this episode, I am going to try to use a new feature, or not a new feature, a feature that is new for me, that is very specific. I'm unsure how this is going to go, but we're going to try it out. Now, the first thing that I need for that is I need to build a build station, build to repair thingy-majiggy. Let's see, this is just a junction, so this should be attached to the entirety of the ship. I have no steel plates. Well, would you know it?
Energy low.
I'm standing on steel plates. So, what this does is I need to build it first. Then it's probably because I haven't figured it out 100%. I just wanted to work through it for a second. The reason why I'm doing this while there's still other stuff to do with what I was working on is because this can be done in the background. I don't know how long this takes. I don't know how fast this goes, so I'd rather do it right now. That way I won't have to do all this later, because let's put it like this. If I need steel plates or metal grids, I can either build them myself after mining iron, or I can break down a large majority of this ship. Now there's a few different ways that you can use the grinder tool. And I have never used the grinder tool because I was scared that it would ruin my entire base. Well, what you do. So, the plan that I have now is attach this to it. Then we're gonna put this to... There's this thing. When checked, the system will grind blocks with the color defined further down. And let's just say that if I select this for the pink wood structure that we have used before for obsolete buildings, so if we just do this, we pick the wood pink colorization, there should be no blocks in this that are that color. So if we then go in here, I have to go into the QK menu. I go to... I know. And we just do pick current build color. And we... Oh wait, it's not on currently. Let's see, I have 9% power. Okay, let's just turn it on. Block has not enough power. Alright, we'll solve that in a little bit. Let's just first get some power in my body. We're probably just going to turn on the reactor for a little bit. Lose a little bit of uranium, but we should be fine. Would be nice if we could get some more uranium later down the line, but we'll figure that one out when we get to there. I wonder if I sit a bit backward. I really have to speak into this microphone. Oh, that's fine. I'm used to that, to have this thing right close to me, so. Okay, we have some power. And now the ship. Let's just turn it on. And then what I want to do is there's an attachment here. Oh, and if you missed the smaller episode that I made in between, and the reason why this ship is all of a sudden here, watch that video. I laughed till I cried, pretty much, the first time that happened. Was really something new to me, at least in this game. I've seen that sort of stuff happen in Gmod before, but never in this game. Okay. What we're gonna do is we're gonna hook this large large cargo container up to the structure that we flew over to the other side. Let's just put that between quotation marks. And we're going to use that structure to save all the components that are going to come off of it. Okay, it's detached, so let's just detach it fully. I don't know why it's trying to get the components out of it. I want to... Why is it doing that? What's it? Interesting. Okay. Can I fix it real quick? Only metal grids are the problem. Alright, that's fine. We can snoop them from somewhere. For instance, the ship over here. I believe there was some blocks here. Here, no, here, yes. Okay, some metal grids. Gonna grab the rover. Gonna move this part over. Done. Good. Okay, let's just move this antenna a bit out of the way. I think I could lift this up. Or at least lift it to the side. Right? No? Thought I could. A little bit. Okay, we'll just use the rover then. Okay. So... I mean, I could use the hauler for this as well. But I kind of need to use the rover, you know? Not really had that much reason to use this in quite a while. Except for like moving the big chunks. Move this antenna a little bit out of the way. It's way too much. Alright, let's pick up this large cargo container. I think I still have one even at the other base. I don't know why I didn't pick up that one. Sure. Like all the way over there should be one. You can even see it from here. It's a little square to the right there. Huh. Well, we're gonna pick this one up now. Make a turn more to the... Lift this up. Make a turn a little bit more to the right. Should be clear. Yeah, there we go. Learned all my driving skills from only these types of games. That's the reason why I crashed my car so much. No. No, I have never gotten into a crash. It's fine. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to place this cargo container on a little bit of a platform. We're going to use a different color than this. Let's just make this block here, just so we have the color. Because what we're gonna do is strip a lot of the parts of the ship away. Just have to think about how to hook that up to this. I think if I just do it with a hinge, we should be fine. We can actually unhook this for a bit, because I think I can move it around. Yeah, I'm strong like that. I think I'm gonna do it with connectors. So what we're gonna do is we're just gonna connect. Gonna do it like this, this, and then we're gonna try to build these. Okay. Can I just remove this? Get a lot of components. Don't know if it's enough components, but we'll see. Not really. Okay, let's just dump it in the rover. We should be fine later on anyway. Okay, let's break it down a little bit more.
Inventory full.
Okay. What about now? Can I build a little bit further? Okay, let's dump the rest of the components back in here. Break it down a little bit further.
Inventory full.
That's probably all the large steel tubes that I need. Nice, that's already some of the parts. That's all of the parts. Good. Okay. It doesn't have any power right now, so what we're gonna do is hope that the reactor didn't blow up when its whole part got flung. No, it didn't. Okay, good. Then, we're gonna turn it on. Don't know how much power is left in there. But we're gonna put welding off. Grind only. What is it grinding? Oh no! So stupid. Well, at least it's working. Oh, that's so dumb. Should have realized that. Thank you, brain farts. Thank you for that. Okay, now these parts are in the system. Okay, let me... Oh. Have all 4 of them? Oh, okay. There we go. We should now get all these components back. Yay! Okay, let's not build them out of pink materials. Oh, that was stupid. Okay. Then we're gonna put this one up. Then ow. Oh. My apologies. I placed the microphone, the new microphone, on a different stand. And it's now on my right side. I'm used to usually have it on the left side. Sometimes when you touch your face, you... it's my sincere apologies, that was dumb. Smacked myself in the face. The doy, let me slap myself. Okay. Then we need a conveyor. And then the question is, how am I gonna hook this up? I want to try it in a very peculiar way. Peculiar. Just like here. I'm gonna place a torch block here. Cannot place it there. Can place it there. What? What? Why? I can place them on the edges? Sure, then we're gonna do it like this. Sure. Okay. And let's see. Is my building planner free? Yeah, so this one, this one, this one, this one, this one. Alright, let's see how many components we can get. Okay, a lot. Just dump whatever blocks we can. Then we're gonna fly back to base, get the rest of the blocks that we need for this, and hope that I can do it in one trip. How much hydrogen do I have? Okay, we're running out of that as well. Let's just take a quick little recharge here. Thank you. That should be all the components necessary for this.
Energy low.
I know. So, let's get our little rover. What we're gonna do is we're gonna pick this back up. We're gonna try to park it into it. Not hit that foot, because otherwise that entire ship is gonna blow up. If at least the foot breaks. Probably needs to have quite a lot of force to do that, but don't want to find out how much that is. Okay. Go. So, now what we're going to do is we're going to try to couple these two. Crooked right now. Okay, that's a little better. Did they turn yellow even? Damn. They did. Damn. Okay. Got closer to it than I thought. Then, let's turn it a little bit around. Pardon me. That crept up on me a little bit. It's a little bit too high. Yes. Alright. Then, we're gonna lower it a little bit. That's good. Now we just need to put it into the correct spot. And that is it. Oh, I accidentally coupled together again. So, what we're going to do now, see if we can place this in the ground, just to have a little bit of a stationary target. I cannot. Alright. So, what we're going to do, basically, is we're gonna free this up. So we're gonna make sure that this is now I toggle this block off. Yes, just fall on the ground. Now it's in its most rested position where it can be. This, I'm going to pump all the components. We're just gonna whitelist, and we're just gonna do all components. So what I hope is gonna happen, I'll also do all the ammo. If I press drain all, that every single bit that gets mined out is gonna be put in here. And I hope I have enough space. That is gonna be the hardest part about this. It seems like these were all the components that were grinded from the hinges that I did. So, what I'm going to do is I'm gonna paint some blocks, and I'm gonna see if it's just immediately going to remove these. Here, it's working. It does! Good, 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 good. So what we can do with this is basically find an area that only has like steel plates and such right here. That doesn't have any expensive components, and we can just do this. Just have to make sure that we don't hit any of the other blocks. And we can just do this for a majority of the outer area. And we can just remove a lot of the outer shell. And once it is full, we'll just drive over with the rover. And we'll just collect a lot of the metal grids and metal and steel plates. And we'll just redo this every single time until we have emptied out this entire ship. If I hit it here, will that tank be hit? No. But here. Good. So what we're going to do now is just leave this as is. And let's see if this increases. Yep. 428 steel plates. 434. Alright. So this is now going to remove a large majority of the blocks on this base. This way I won't have to do all the grinding manually. But all the grinding will still be done. And when I come back, hopefully this base will be taken apart quite well. And I think it's going to do it from outside in. That way no blocks will fall off, but that would still make it sometimes difficult. Yeah, it's working quite well. So, what we're going to do is leave this be for now. When we need these components, we'll just return and get them. The only problem that I might have is that it's not completely aligned, so if this thing is completely full, it's already 14,000 kilograms, then it might be snapping off. I hope it doesn't happen, but if not, if that is a problem, then we'll just redo it, but with an advanced rotor, and perhaps even a platform where it can stand on. Already hear the clang behind me, that doesn't fill me with a lot of confidence. Okay, so that was one thing that I wanted to take rid of, because it was a little bit of an, is this possible? Because I wanted to learn what the grind feature does. Now I know. I just have to make sure that I never hit the grind color for teal on this ship. Or green. Green would even be worse, because all those parts I can never get back. For the rest of what we were planning to do today for this ship. We were working on the bottom side here last time. So now what we're going to do is we're going to install these. Now there's a few ways that I can install these, and I think I'm going to do conveyors with these ones. Just to make sure that everything is as connected as possible. I would love to use these ones, but I don't think it will add much, because it will just be shown on one side. So I think with this we're just going to go for conveyor junction. We're going to go for the same green color to indicate that these are specific to this area. Get a bunch of components. We're just going to place them. There we go. There we go. Mm-hmm. Now we have oxygen tanks down here, and these conveyors go down to a, what was it again? Conveyor sorter, where a gun was attached previously. We don't care much about this, but what we can do instead of that is we can install some ion thrusters, or we can just use this for another type of storage. So right now there's just oxygen here. What I want to do is not make this as much more annoying as possibly. So what I mean with that is we're just gonna free these hydrogen thrusters up. There we go. Array of... We're gonna make this more flush and make sure that this is gonna be the rounded area instead of this location here. We're gonna do that on the same on this side. I'm just thinking about if I really want to place more oxygen tanks up there, since at some point we really want to pressurize the entire ship. That is usually not an issue, but you know. I hear a lot of explosions coming from here. Okay, a lot of parts are falling off. Here's some parts that are a bit smoky. Okay. Nothing explodes so far. Doesn't seem like it. It only grinds stuff that is attached to the grid, so it will not drill any blocks that fall off of it. Which is fine, really. For the most part, we just want the majority of the heavy armor pieces to be grinded up. Then we're gonna bit by bit steal the components away. Okay, let's see how far we already are. It's going fine so far, it seems. Well, I just hear klung. Oh, these fell off. No? Oh. Don't know. I'm just gonna do some jutting pieces. Don't carry any weights. Just have to return every now and then to make sure that everything is going fine. Any guns fall away or any ammo falls away, I don't mind. This was clearly not a small gun. This was clearly a big gun that was hidden here. You just hear stuff falling everywhere. Alright. But that's not the most important part right now. That's just something we want in the background. So if we just hear some clanging, it's fine. If we just hear a big explosion, we should get a little bit more concerned. Ow. Oop. Okay, let's move away all the blocks that we don't need. That does give me some concern. You just hear big explosions in the distance. Last time that happened, a ship did a front flip over my ship. Which was rad, but you know, it's not nice if it's at the cost of a part that you really wanted. Okay, now I'm gonna take a look. What's this block that fell off? The passage. Oh! Okay. Interesting.
Inventory full.
Come on. Okay, it's not as good as I thought it was. I thought it would do it in like a, if this block falls, then, or if it cuts the grid in two, then you should not do it. Maybe it's a setting in the thing.
Energy low.
Let me quickly check that. Is it a setting in there, maybe? Let's see. When checked, only functional blocks are grinded, and these are... No. Blocks without owner. For blocks. When checked, if blocks have the same priority, the nearest is grinded first. Now we want furthest first, but it's furthest directly to it, not by how it's connected to. Okay. I mean, it's fine, and I just have to remember to not grind these. I just noticed if I grind these gyroscopes will fall. I'll do that later. Interesting. These plates. Does not hit that. It would be very sad if I accidentally hit the hydrogen tank and it started grinding immediately. There we go. Especially all those blast doors, to grind those away would be very nice.
Energy critical.
Oh yeah, my energy was getting low. Okay, let's hope it doesn't clang too much. Let's sit down for a second and take a little bit of a think on how we're gonna do this. So, we can put probably 2 more oxygen tanks in the bottom and hook them up with the conveyor junctions. The question is, do we still have some laying around? Just so we have more than enough oxygen tanks throughout the entire ship. I think this one has at least one, or is it a hydrogen tank that's over here? Okay, here it is. It's an oxygen tank, alright. Now, I don't know how quickly these damage, so we're gonna find out. Watch me blow up an oxygen block. Real fast. Okay. Good. Okay, it didn't blow up. It's a good sign. Just gonna collect all these industrial ones. Who knows what we're gonna do with it. Maybe later on we're gonna put it on the top of the ship. Like I stated in the previous episode, the reason why I didn't use these thrusters is because you can't place any blocks on the side of it, but you can place it on the back. The standard ones, they can be placed on the side. Like, you can put blocks on the side. That makes it just a lot easier to work with.
Inventory full.
Oh, my inventory's full. Okay, sure. Boop. I can't move it. Okay. Good. Let's see, are these now free? Yep. I think this was a superconductor. Yeah, it only has some gravity components. Sadness, sadness. I think actually what I'm gonna do with this one is I'm just gonna detach it and I'm gonna fly it over with the hauler. Can I actually reach down here? No. I would need to remove this entire flooring, which I think I'm gonna do. Maybe this place we can use for the storage of batteries. Ooh. That might actually be a good one. The only problem is that the rest of the ship will be cut off from all the components that are probably still in here. We can make some emergency conveyors. Yeah, we can do that. We can make some emergency conveyors. We can even hook up... No, So, when I built this part out, so let's just... If we're gonna fly it in, because there's no way we can carry that oxygen tank up there. So we really need to fly it in. Otherwise we need to use the mover, the little forklift that we have back at base, if it ever is recharged. But I think that's gonna be a difficult one to use, that one. Let's see, oxygen tanks are 2 blocks long. 1 block tall, 1 block wide. So if I start placing them, and I place one more conveyor junction here, 1, 2, conveyor junction here, 1, 2. It should be in line with how many of these we have. Then what we can do is perhaps place a conveyor junction here to build a gun later on, and then make it flush with the rest of the base. That's something we can do, yes. That way we need 2 oxygen tanks on these 2 locations. To do that, we need to remove every part that's up here, and we need to rebuild them. So, let's just make for the time being that the ship at least keeps its components up and running. We'll just build it over here. Can't wait for the conveyor system to finally be done. At least on the bottom side. There we go. Then, what we'll do is we'll reinstall this part here. It's like... There we go. This time I didn't forget to unmute my microphone. Sometimes I have stupid. Okay, let's make this here. Remove this here. There we go. It's a little bit crooked, but it should be installed. It's not going to be its permanent location. We're going to put this to welding only. And we're going to turn it on. Now what we have to do is remove all these blocks. Ugh. Give myself a little bit of a... Oh, wait, I shouldn't remove this block. Otherwise it's going to free fall. And will fall right on the oxygen tanks. That is a bot problem. Okay, let's just dump them in there. Mm-hmm. That was also the one that we shouldn't remove because it's connected to the rest of the conveyor system. It's the one that should be attached. Okay. Let's see here. These can go. And this last one. Okay. Conveyor system should be up and running, and I think most of the
Energy low.
Yeah. Again. Oh boy. So what we're gonna do is we are going to break open that last bit of flooring. And what we're gonna do is we know where the connectors are gonna happen to be. And we can remove them because the thrusters will be stuck to each other. And I think the time is finally there to start building a large collection of batteries. And just start placing them down here. Is it gonna be safe putting all my batteries here? No. But it's not the only spot where we're gonna place our batteries, and also not the only spot where we're gonna place our oxygen tanks. We just want to be a little bit in the theme of the challenge, or the theme of the ship.
Inventory full.
So we're gonna do it in that way. Like I've said before, we really want to build this thing from the bottom up. If this challenge was merely to build a ship to get to the green planet, I could build it with small grid only and get there in less than a few episodes. But part of the challenge was also to build a ship vessel worthy to be a base that I can land, use in space, and use on another planet. So, this is currently built out of the most hideous material I've ever laid my eyes on, so let's just repaint that real quick to at least show that it's going to be part of my base. There we go. Let's see. This is going to be a conveyor junction. Then we're going to have 2 blocks. This is going to be a conveyor junction. 2 blocks, and this is going to be a conveyor junction. Let's place those already in. Let's just place it right up. Oh, need interior plates. Alright. Place all my blocks in. 1 conveyor. 2 conveyors. Good. Now, this is going to be a tough build, so to speak. Because what I want to do is I want to build in batteries and I want to build in the oxygen. But what I kind of want to do is not put batteries here. And the reason why is it's gonna become a struggle to put the batteries in if these engines are in the way. So what I want to do is I want to place the oxygen tanks here. And then I want to fill up this space probably just with some light armor in any way to make sure that if a bullet flies through here, it doesn't immediately hit a battery. And then we'll put the batteries here on this layer. I don't know how many yet. Maybe we'll put oxygen tanks and hydrogen tanks close to each other. I have to think about that. But at least let's get the hauler and let's start moving some stuff around. Also, I had my engines on the entire time. That was a very stupid idea of me. That uses up a lot of materials that I could have, like a lot of hydrogen It's good thing that we are on an ice planet. Never said that I was a smart man. Okay. Let's grab this. Good. Let's see if my movement with the ship is still fine. Watch out with the mouse. Let's hope I can carry it into position a little bit further. Motor crossing around. Crazy outside. Don't know if the microphone could pick it up. I left a little bit of a noise gate in. Make sure that no simple breathing or scratching of the beard or anything like that picks up on the microphone. Who knows? Who knows? Alright, let's see. Can I move this by hand a little bit? Just if it's only... Yeah, okay, good. That's the right amount of movement that I need. That's... You saw the sinking right there? The way that the tip of the oxygen tank sank into the block. That's also what the ship did right before it started exploding. So you better not explode on me. Yeah, I need it a little bit moved though. There we go. That's the movement that I wanted. Okay. Was it better to put this one in first, or should I just put the second one in now as well? I think I should put the second one in now as well. Do I have an oxygen tank somewhere at the ready? What's this? Oh, it's an oxygen tank. Look at that. You ask and you shall receive. Watch it explode on me. Air vents. Always nice. Gonna need these later on. If I grind that one, should probably... Yes. Yes. Okay, can I pick this up? I can. Now the question is, do I have oxygen all faced in the same direction? And is that gonna matter? I think it... In a sense, it will. Okay, so it will all be oxygen, oxygen, and I somehow placed this one correctly. What I want to do is, I want to build the batteries down here, but I want to build like a passage over it. So I can see the blocks that I'm walking on later. Just in case I need to do something to fix a battery or something by hand, I don't know. Or otherwise it's just going to be for RP reasons. So let's see. Is this one facing the correct way? No, it's already not angled correctly. Let's see. Okay, I have an idea for this. Let's just do it like we have done with every other block. There we go. The only problem is, now I have to drop it down again. This gyroscope's in the way. Can I move it? Barely. Oh, gyroscopes. You're gonna be the bane of my existence. Good. Don't explode. Thank you. So, how are we gonna pick it up? From this side. Alright, good, 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 good. Let's get the hauler. Let's get to work. Let's see. I think I put it right here. See text at the bottom, so should be fine. Yeah, it's fine like this. Okay. I'm gonna put it a little bit in the middle. Good. Okay. Good. Put it back in its parking spot just to make sure that we have it at full juice at all times. Go. Let's turn that off. Let's turn the engines off this time just to make sure we don't waste any materials. Good. Now, let's install this. So, oxygen. What color is associated with oxygen? Usually it's the color red. I don't know. I don't think oxygen really needs its own color that much because it's only going to be these types of tanks. I think that we're just going to keep these teal or aqua, depending on who I ask. Okay. Gonna need a weld block worth of materials. Cannot withdraw large steel tubes or computers. What? Okay, how far is this thing? Wow, would you look at that? 218,000 kilograms, 9,000 steel plates, and 900 metal grids. Damn. That is quite a lot. I'm at some point going to empty all that into my rover. My rover's probably gonna crash and burn. Let's fix this. Yeah, that's what I thought. Now we don't have the computers for that either. Let's just bring all the computers that we have so far in here. Go, put in the computers. Now, touch. Good. Good. Let's move this a bit over here and then a little bit more over here. I guess the shimmy method works quite well. I say right as it doesn't work anymore. There we go. Is that enough? It doesn't look like it's enough. Place a connector. No. Not a connector, a conveyor junction. Shimmy once more. Shimmy once more. Come on, shimmy once more. Enough? Looks to be enough. Don't have any interior plates. Okay. That's fine. Now we need the merge block here and a merge block here. Now I just have to think about what type of filling I'm going to use per, let's just say it like that. Good. I want to build some armor to make sure that this is protected. But I think we're not going to be in too much fights. So I think just standard light armor blocks will be fine. So then we're going to fill up this entire area here with light armor blocks. There we go. And look at that. Then we're going to install a connector here. Or not a... I'm calling them connectors every single time. Conveyor junctions. There we go. No, I actually want a different one. Yes. No. I need a T-piece. There we go. Now it's connected to the connector at the bottom, so we can hook up a gun. And it's connected to the line. Then, what we can do is end this on a tube. Like this. Then unhook this part. And this is where we're gonna make the part where this connector comes out of the ground. Like so. And then we can hook it up with whatever block. It's probably gonna be a junction. The reason why it's going to be a junction is because this is going to be the center part of this entire part of the base. We're probably also going to have these connected in some way. Because of course all these conveyors have to be attached to some point as well. But we'll get to that. I can probably even do that right here maybe. Like maybe to this part as well. Oh my. I'm gonna have to get used to that right-sided microphone stand. Maybe I'll switch it as well, but there's only a 1.8 meter cable between the microphone and the computer. So that's gonna be something I have to get used to as well. So, on the other side, I have these. And I was thinking of perhaps making this bigger, but to just protect these large ion thrusters. I will think of a concept for this side. Probably off video in a bit. It's gonna probably be... This is with the 1x1s. If I make them that it takes 2 blocks to go down 1 block, I can end the ramp part over on this side, and then it would be protected. Then I can leave a majority of this intact, like these things, and use this same concept on the other side later. I think that would be a good solution for that. On this side, what we're going to do is this is going to eventually attach to a weapon. We're going to have a weapon attached to the bottom there. And then we're going to have this basically ramp, like what they have over here. We're going to ramp that over here. Yep. And then we're going to pull this idea here. We're going to do this instead of this. We're going to make the blast doors. So we're just going to have blast doors instead. I just have to think about how we're going to install them. But we'll get to that point later. And then we're going to have to think of a way to protect this part a little bit better. Because of course we don't want to lose 2 large hydrogen tanks and the thrusters. We're going to separate the thrusters and the tanks from each other as well. That will come as well. For now, what I want to do is this area is now decently protected. And what I want to do is install the batteries here. So what I want to do is I want a row of batteries here. And I want a row of batteries here. And then I have passages through the middle. Probably passages number 3? I have to think about that one. I want to see the oxygen tanks, per se. Because I just think that would be neat. Now comes the hard part. Because if I really want to put batteries in every single location here, I would need 20 batteries. Because I put 10 hydrogen thrusters on both sides. Now, I don't think getting enough batteries won't be the issue. It will be getting enough intact batteries will be the issue. Let me check up on this. See how far we are at the moment. And if we already have to do a little pit stop to remove all the parts from here. Seems fine so far. Lots of blast door components. Heavy armor pieces. I think all the pink is also gone. Except, of course, what fell off. Okay, the components here are still intact.
Energy low.
I know. Well, this at least saves me a lot of time and effort. And a lot of boring contents to probably look, let alone do. Like, I was dreading grinding down this ship. That's why I looked for the grinding methods. I just don't want to put it to grind all the blast doors, because if I do that, then the ship might fall apart and I might lose some important components. Yeah, that's quite a lot. It even has some of the ammo in there. That's good. That is what I was hoping for as well. Every ammo that I don't have to make is good. Okay. I'm gonna check once I grind these last few parts up how much batteries are in this ship. So can I sit down in the chair still? I don't even know where it is at this point. It would be down here. Okay, let's sit down. Currently very crooked, but that's fine. So, let me check. How many batteries do we have on this ship? Literally 0. Well, that's a shame. I love how crooked this is now. I think I flew the wrong way. Doesn't matter, everything is an exit now. You really need to move that part as well to install it later in the ship, because otherwise we might lose it later on. So what I'm gonna do is real quick use the coloring. Boop. And just free it up. So we're just gonna free up all the blocks that are around it. Just have to be sure that I don't detach it. That would be stupid. But to be fair, that is not a... Oh. Ah, damn. Didn't pay attention to my hydrogen. Let's fill up our bottles. There we go. I'm just still sad about the extra thruster that we will not get. But, oh my god. Oh fuck, this is gonna happen way too many times before I'm gonna stop doing that. Oh, that's so stupid. Every time when I do it, I hit the microphone stand, and then the microphone itself hits me in the face. That's the 3rd time already. when you get an itchy nose, you just want to scratch it, and I usually use my microphone or like my mouse arm, because you know you can fly with your. I can pretty much, if I aim in the direct correction, like I can just fly with one hand. Ooh, that's it's an interesting part. Is it worth it to really bring all the way back? It should. It's a large hydrogen thruster for a small grid if I want to build a minor vehicle. Very useful. Okay, let me claim the grid. Just detach it. Get off of there. I'll probably not fly with this. Okay, I'll just put a GPS coordinates. I'll pick it up later. Watch me never pick it up again. Let's see. Small grids. Large hydrogen stir. Russ, sure. Green. And could be it. Okay. That's fine. Still no tier 3. Sadly. At this point, I don't really have confidence that we'll even find one before we get off of this planet. Look at this place full of broken ships. This thing is still burning here. Just remove it. This area here needs to be done as well. That might even actually be a good spot for the warp drives. We'll think about that. We still have to think about where we're going to put all the industrial storage in this place as well. Because when we look at this ship right here, you look on the inside, it has 2 of those standard large cargo containers. Those we can find a spot for. Instead of air vent, yeah. And then there's one large one here that we're later gonna use. Then we have one over there, so that's a large industrial one. Jump drive. There's some H2O2 and wait, that's an assembler. I just want to say, like, why do H2O2 generators have slots for modules on the side, but they weren't. This one we have to install, of course, somewhere. This one is almost now completely broken. Yeah, we really need to take apart some of these jump drives. Are superconductor parts heavy?
Inventory full.
Nope, but they fly out of there without an issue. Okay, we're just gonna install these superconductor parts. Mostly the power cells that I'm interested in. I wonder if I can have all the batteries that were slightly broken in the ship fully repaired when all these components are put in. Oh, it's over here. The moment I got the jump drive back to this stage, it kind of unlocked the memory of my first playthrough. When I found a vehicle that I didn't really know. It was, I think I was like 100 hours in, and I found a vehicle that I really didn't know what to do with, but it eventually I saved it all the way in the early game, and then later I realized that it had a large
Inventory full.
atmospheric thruster, and that was the point where I realized that I needed that ship that I found at the first one. But the reason why I thought it was so weird, because it had like this structure, this build state of the jump drive in it. I was just like, what is that jump drive? I have no idea what it does. And then, yeah. Yeah, cool story, bro, I know, but it's just like, that was my first introduction to this type
Inventory
of
full.
challenge mode for this game. There we go. Let's get these power cells. Yay! Was there one broken on this side either? No. Alright. So, if I think correctly then, if I now put power cells in the ship inventory, we should have no problem. Yeah, they're not getting used. Good, 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 good. If I run into issues then, or I have to take over a battery and I lose one, then we can at least take over quite a few batteries. So there's no batteries in there. How many batteries are in here? Battery. Okay, so should be 11 batteries in total. Yeah, jump drive. Basic refinery. How easily accessible are they? They're not. That's the tough shot. How heavy is a 35,000 kilogram? I'm not sure if I can move that. Okay, there's a few batteries here. Okay, let's remove some of the frontal parts. Okay, my inventory is full. Inventory is always full. Hmm? Okay.
Inventory full.
Always good to have displays, because I can't build those either. That's gonna dampen my productivity as well if I run into display problems. Okay, but most of the batteries here in the front are at least free. Find something that... Oh, was I guess just a display. 10 displays. Nice.
Energy low.
I know. So, we can pick these batteries out of here. At least. Easiest way to do this is by having them stand on a platform, then grind them loose with the detached parts, and then pick them off. Is it mine? Yes, it is. Okay, so let's just get the first one in, shall we? The first of many. Let's detach it. It's attached. Now, do I really care about orientation? Am I really gonna be a stickler for it? Yes, yes I am. The question is, what orientation? Am I gonna have it like this, or am I gonna have it like this? I think I want this part to be like when you look at it like this. So, okay. Let me quickly also... Okay, I'm low on power. Let me quick. Oh, that is detached. Funny. Hmm.
Energy critical.
I know, I know. Okay, let's go back to the ship, recharge our energy. We're also gonna have to take this frontal part and very big hands. So what I do like about the ship though is those two lines that we have going from here all the way to the back. It's these two half block heights that are like ramping up there. I think what I'm gonna do is use them as a guideline to make a dome, like a glass dome over the top. So these lines, these are gonna go and ramp over the base in such a way that we're gonna have like a dome shaped over the top. And we're probably gonna have a floor up here where you can walk over these industrial hydrogen tanks. But first, let's get us a battery, the first of many. Activate the batteries, activate tanks, activate the engines, and we should be ready to go. I swear I'm gonna do that wrong one of these days, and it's just gonna kaboom on. Let's just first get these 3 batteries down. See if I can get all 3 batteries. But that pane up there might be in the way. Go. What? What's... Oh, it's at the location over there. Doesn't really matter if that's a bit shakily. One. Let's just detach the other ones as well. Here we go. Let's detach and free them up. What's this block? That's just light armor. Oh, I almost ground the batteries. Don't want to do that. This programmable block is going to come with me as well. I don't know when I'll need it. I don't know where I'll need it. I'll just install it in the ship. Just no matter what. I'll install every event controller and every programmable block I will find into the ship. If I need it, I will install it. If I don't, then at least it's just taking up the spot of like a light armor block. What? It's that block. Some crazy movement on those blocks. Alright. Let's free this up so we can move these out. No blocks underneath it that are broken, right? No. Oh. Did it break? How did it not break? I sometimes don't get this game. I've dropped batteries from smaller heights than that, and it didn't break. This one falls that distance, and it's just completely fine. I don't get the physics engine of this game sometimes. What? How does that work? Well, okay, don't complain. The battery didn't break on you, so don't complain. Something goes right, and it's a bit of a surprise, then just roll with it. I swear if that one broke now, I would have been mad. Okay. I want to put it upright. Should be enough. Yep. Good, that's one. Next. What was that? I don't know how many blocks I fell, but sure. Oh, this game is precious. Doesn't make a lick of sense, that's for sure. So many funny things just happening. Oh my god. Okay, let's turn this one around. Don't know how close I can get underneath this ship. A little bit. Especially if I flip it this way. Maybe I was already low health, I don't know, but I had the feeling I was like at 70 health or something. So that was a bit interesting. Okay, so the way we want to install it is the moment we drop them, that this is going to be the walkway. So when we pick a block up, I want to have it at least the ship aiming that way or the ship aiming that way. Alright, let's try this. Let's pick this one first. Okay. Now I can move batteries by hand very slightly, but it should be enough to just get it to work in with a merge block. We're just gonna start in the back. Ooh. Just gonna drop them in there. Okay, so I have to pick it up like this. Mm-hmm. You don't want to turn them too much when I place them in there. Okay. Okay. A dumb clicking sound in my right ear. I'm probably gonna turn off the build, the automatic build stations if they don't have anything to do. Sound is getting on my nerves. Like I've said before, that's just the sound of the automatic build stations when they do have a block that they want to build, but they don't have the materials to build it. That is the sound that you will hear then. Yeah, let's see if I can grab that one. Grab it from the side. Thought I was closer to it. I thought I was gonna hit it. Alright. Let's take a little bit of a drifting course. Come on. I'm just surprised how well the hauler is still holding up. I got used to the jank and the lack of atmospheric thrusters on the sides. Okay, let's see if we can get this done without needing the hauler again. Let's just install these first 3. Ooh, a bit fast. Go. Turn on the batteries. Charge. Turn off the engines. All right. Let's see what we got. How much hydrogen do we still have left? We are missing one bottle. Okay, and we can also just put in these components. No, this one's full. Oh boy, how is our storage in general? Okay, there's some storage left here. Okay, we'll put in these components. Oh, I died. I forgot to turn on my lights again. So, what do you want to build and what don't you have in components? You need gravity thruster component. Well, you don't need to fix those gravity generators. What we're gonna do is we're gonna just turn off most of these repairs right now. There we go. Let's see how we're doing over here. We can really only start moving these components over to the big ship once we have set up our storage for the time being in that ship. Otherwise, we just don't have enough space, because look at this. We already have 85,000 liters of materials, 342,000 kilograms. 1,700 metal grids, 15,000 steel plates, 5,000 scrap metal. I mean, judging by some of the parts here on the top, I can understand where the scrap metal is coming from. Okay. None of the components that I need have been broken, right? I mean, there's a lot of these industrial thrusters. We're gonna need a few of them on the top, but okay. Just have to be careful not to hit it. Because there's just a few parts that are very important for later on. Gravity gen is not really the most important part, but this big reactor, the tank that we still have over here, and this tank are the most important parts. I think we really have to work towards getting this thing out of here, because it's hanging so precariously above everything. Now, this is still attached to each other, and this block here is still attached to this side, because you can place blocks on the sides of this tank on the bottom ring. So this block down here is still attached to it. For the rest, it is almost completely free. That connector is still there, but I just don't know. Okay, that connector is also still attached to that. We can remove more blocks around it, as long as that connector stays intact. Okay, this should free it up even better. Technically, then, these blocks down here can go as well. Okay, we're getting there. Cool. Let's work back on the batteries. So, the way I want to install this is I want the batteries to be in this position. Yep. Let's try it. Can I move them? Barely. Yeah, that's not moving at all. Do I really need to holler for all of these? I might. Right, I can make it a little bit easier for myself. And what I can do is... This will also save me when the repairers aren't on. I can just do this. I'll just use the blue coloration again. There we go. Oh, itchy eye. And this time I didn't hit the microphone. Learning. I'm learning. That was very, very satisfying. Okay. I have to really move this with the hauler, because it doesn't seem like it wants to move at all. So we're just gonna need the hauler for this. We're gonna have to do them one by one. Turn everything back on, engines on. Disconnect. I do remember that a while ago I found a small grid event controller, and Anello Black Void has said that you could use those to when you press the button for the event controller, it will just do everything you want. Turn the engines on, turn the tanks on. Okay. I'm gonna probably look into that as well for the next episode. No. I realized at the moment I pressed the wrong button. Okay. I will have to move this direction. Are some of them broken? I might have broken some of my thrusters. Why are my gyros not working? Didn't destroy them. Trying to turn. Okay. Did I destroy anything? Looks to be intact. Oh my God. I pressed the wrong button while I was doing everything. I wanted to try to turn in one direction, and because the camera was flipped, I did it in the wrong direction. And I flew upside down. Pressed 5, Y. I have to grab it a little bit further in the back. This is painstaking. Okay, okay. Step 1. Step 2 is don't die. Okay. Yep, that's the correct positioning. had to check it twice just to make sure that I did it indeed correctly. Okay. I mean, it does move, but barely. Okay, so I'm gonna install it right over here now. I'm so glad that it didn't blow up. That would have been a damper on my mood. After so many hours of getting the hang of this thing, to finally break it just because I was a little bit dumb and used the wrong button. Aim it a little bit down. Does it again. Am I attached? Yes. Okay, but we don't want to be attached because we want to park. There we go. Do we want the batteries a different color? That's another great question that I do not have the answer to yet. We'll think of that. At least having 3 of these batteries installed is at least a little bit of a sigh of relief. If I can get the 3rd one installed, of course. Okay. Oh, I did break the steel blocks over there. So I didn't break the ship itself, but I broke the ship. Okay. But that's easily fixable. Don't do that. There we go. Okay, let's install the hauler back in its parking spot. Repair the damage that I did by being a dumbass. And then let's just take a little bit of a breather. Turn off the engines, just spare myself. Yeah. I might also do it that I'm not gonna just have batteries here, but that I will also install some small reactors down here. Okay. This will build later when I turn the auto builds back on. So then I'm gonna turn it in. Everything is bright yellow, but yes, I do like that. So I'm gonna turn everything related to power into yellow. What I was thinking about for later, I'm not gonna place these yet because I need to install, of course, the other batteries. I was thinking about installing parts of passage 3 in here. So when you look at these passages, some of these passages have their own flooring. Passage 3 has this look that it's really like an engineering part. And there is T-junction windowed. I think it was this one. Not sure. Oh, I don't think I'm gonna put it like this. I think if I'm gonna place anything here, I'm gonna do it like this. That way you can still look at things. You can see the floor that you're walking over. Oh, that was the... But that's actually also a very good cue. We're gonna at least put these passages here later after the batteries are installed. I'm not sure yet where I'm gonna install the reactors. But I will think about that as well. In the next episode, I'm gonna try to move the last of the large hydrogen tanks over there. Then I'm also gonna think about the rest of what is still in there that I need, like the gyroscopes. That's gonna be a hell to move, but since there's so many here in the back, I'm probably gonna think about placing a lot of them here in the front. The problem only with them is that they're gonna cost a computer. They're gonna cost 2 computers per gyroscope to install. That's that's 2 computers that I will not be able to get back. So, I don't know yet how I'm gonna do this. I might even build a small vehicle that can drive through the ship just for that single purpose alone. But at least if you like this video, then thank you very much for watching. And I will see you in the next video. Have a wonderful day. Bye.